very much. We are getting ready to go in Cleveland, Ohio. A swing game 3 in this best of 7 Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Cavs and the Celtics. Taking a look at our playoff brackets, we know Indiana got on the board yesterday, so too did Denver. Earlier today, Dallas taking a 2-1 lead over the Thunder. How did we get here? 1 between Boston and Cleveland? Well, game 1, Celtics barely had to sweat, cruising to a 120-95 win. But in game 2, what a bounce back from the Cavs. Everybody getting involved. A 24-point victory after that game had been tied at the half. As we welcome you courtside, hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Richard Jefferson.
He moved the ball, the way he got everyone else involved, it was impressive. Here, turning down this shot, getting off the ball, and then watch Max Strus. It's the second closeout against the Boston Celtics. It's never just one individual. You have to do it collectively. Then just here, looking up, getting guys involved. He had 8 assists in that game. It led to Mobley having the best game of his playoff career. It led to Karis LeVert having the best game of the playoffs this season for him.
Lineups and tip-off from Game 3 on ABC Live from Cleveland. Coming your way after the break.
NBA Conference semifinals on ABC are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for real. This presentation of the NBA Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Out of bounds. And another miscue from Okoro on the offensive end in the early going. 4th Cleveland turnover. Boston a 1-point lead. Let's take a look at tonight's Star Watch, brought to you by Rakuten.
And Jason Tatum off the dribble 3. This is what they've been looking for. If you're the Cavs, you can't have catch and shoot. But once that 3 is rocking, that's when you can get downhill because the floor is space and they have to pressure you. Jason Tatum with a good, quick start.
For a little more on Tatum, let's send things over to Cassidy Hubbard. 10 early points from Tatum, and the Celtics a 4-point first quarter lead.
Jason Tatum, we've seen him knock down the 3, but once that pressure gets up, that's when he becomes special because there is truly no stopping that.
A Sunday afternoon, a big day for the NBA on ABC. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 2:30 Eastern, followed by this year's NBA Draft Lottery. And then it's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Knicks and the Pacers at 3:30 Eastern. Everything is also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. For the first, Cavs turn it over 6 times. Boston takes advantage, but Cleveland and Boston both hot from 3. Mitchell leading the way for the Cavs, and Tatum for the Celtics. Second quarter up next. Timeout on the floor. Donovan Mitchell hyping up this crowd, doing everything he can from deep.
And look, he's feeling it from 3. Going against Hauser this time. Steps back after making him touch earth and shows the emotion.
Bickerstaff has his own gripe.
And this was a great ATO by JB Bickerstaff. A little dribble handoff. Darius Garland is getting going, and a little left-hand floater.
That'll do it for the first half. The Celtics with a 9-point halftime lead. Jason Tatum with 18 to lead the way for Boston. Donovan Mitchell, the main source of offense for Cleveland, 23 first half points. A lot of emotion in a swing game 3. And an electric atmosphere in Cleveland. Malika and Nakia halftime coming up next.
NBA Conference semifinals on ABC, delivered by Chipotle, are brought to you by Google Pixel, the only phone engineered by Google, and Universal Pictures' The Fall Guy, in theaters now.
We welcome you back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel. It's the East semifinals delivered by Chipotle. Some of the images from an entertaining first half as we take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Charles Schwab. The Celtics with a 9-point lead. They shoot it at 55%. Cleveland just 39%. Boston winning the battle in the paint, which Cleveland won in Game 2 as we welcome you back courtside. Ryan Rupp.
NBA Conference semifinals on ABC are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for real. And in part by Ford. Built Ford proud.
Well, it's time to check out this week's playoff tracker brought to you by Zevo. Tomorrow on ABC, Game 4 in Indiana. Pacers trying to even up the Knicks. Dallas took a 2-1 lead on the Thunder. Today, Monday, they'll play Game 4, and tomorrow night, Denver will look to even up the Timberwolves. Taken by Boston. Nice response from the Cavs after they had fallen behind by 23.
And Donovan Mitchell, instead of going at him, finds the open Max Strus. Max Strus hitting a big three, trying to keep them in it.
To the hard work, just couldn't quite finish it.
Doing a little bit of this. Just a little upset, can't figure it out.
Third, Celtics lead by 15 after 3. This presentation of the NBA playoffs will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
And the Cavaliers are off and running off the defensive stop. Darius Garland with the look away to Evan Mobley for the finish. 6-0 start to the fourth quarter for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
NBA Conference semifinals on ABC are delivered by Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle, for real.
And the defense by the Celtics have been smothering all night long, especially for the others. But here, he finally gets Donovan Mitchell, tips it from behind, and then that leads off to this transition break. Jaylen Brown probably get fouled, but the strength to go through it. Boston up by 14.
Take his use it or lose it timeout before we get to that 3-minute mark. Well, Sunday afternoon, a big day for the NBA on ABC. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage, 2:30 Eastern, followed by this year's NBA Draft Lottery. And then it's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Knicks and the Pacers at 3:30 Eastern. Everything all 106-93. Boston wins it. Taking a look at our playoff bracket. The Celtics a 2-1 edge on Cleveland. Hey, if you want a long series, this is the kind of bracket you want to see. 4 series that have played 3 games. They're all 2-1. Knicks, Celtics, Mavs, T-Wolves with those 2-1 series leads. For our producer, Rodney Vaughn, our director, Jeff Evers, Richard Jefferson, Cassidy Hubbard, and our entire ABC crew, I'm Ryan Rucco. After the break, we'll get you back to the studio to Malika Andrews and the crew. Thanks so much for watching ABC, home of the NBA Finals.